Cold turkey can lead to death. How many times have you heard this before? How many times have you heard someone say that before? Cold turkey can lead to death. Have you ever been brainwashed? Have you ever been brainwashed? Have I been brainwashed? Have we been brainwashed? Of course not. It's easy to think that. If someone asked me, my instant answer would be no. But I'm going to guide you through a personal journey of reflections, and they were never intended in this channel. They were never part of the recipe I've tried to make for you to get off the cigarettes. And honestly, it's been bothering me. I don't have a script. I don't know what people mean when they say they have a script. I have notes so that I remember what to say, so I don't track off and use 2 hours. In this case, it's important for me to get my to have somewhat focus. Normally, I'm more laid back, if you will. I try to keep it as real as possible. I don't edit much because I want you to feel. I just not only make you feel, but in reality, this is me sharing my experiences with you. Let's first go back to the basics. I have managed to stop smoking cigarettes, and I think I am over 200 days, maybe 210 days, I don't know, and much more than 4,000 cigarettes dodged, not smoked. So I haven't been smoking for a long time. And by this, I have in the past, I have been trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. Cold turkey. And I managed by using substitutes, not e-cigarettes. That's not like a rule. I don't command you to do anything. I'm telling you how I did it and how I'm thinking, and I'm trying to make you reflect. You understand? So when I'm asking questions or giving so-called commands, it's not because I'm in some commander of chief position. When I call a recipe, I'm not even sure if I'm comfortable calling it a recipe. I'm just sharing what worked for me, what I do not recommend, because I can only speak for myself. You do what you have to do, but the focus is harm reduction. So when I'm talking about e-cigarettes, I just want to get this straight. I have said it before as well. I am not so sure that it will be the same in a very not so distant future as cigarettes were in the 50s. So if you go into YouTube and you search old cigarette commercials, you won't believe your eyes. And I do not believe that it's like everything new or relatively new is not so dangerous. And I don't know, and that's the case. So I don't want to. Let's keep it simple. I want for you to give your lungs a break by harm reduction, but also keeping it calm and gentle. I don't want you to panic. If you panic, you're giving food to your own smoking addiction. So I'm just sharing what worked for me. I made different strategies during my path, and I know there are a lot of people out there who have tried, stopped, failed, tried again, failed, tried again, failed. So I'm going to break down some discoveries. They're all out there, I guess, but I have been advised to share some of my connections, personal connections. I'm not saying anything is wrong or right, but in some cases, I feel it's better to talk and be the stupid weird guy than not say anything, not leaving you space to reflect, because many of you haven't, and that's part of the problem. So, first of all, I asked you, have you ever been brainwashed? And when I ask you about the very word brainwashing, what do you think about? Probably certain countries. I do. Maybe cults, like special sects. Maybe isolated countries. Maybe different kinds of religion, extremism, fundamentalism. Keep that in focus. In my introduction, somewhere, I have been a little lost in this YouTube studio thing. I think many of the new creators recognize this, but we all know Alan Carr, and I do believe in my introduction, I first of all uh, start my statement in that very context by showing him a tremendous amount of respect. So I do believe I have called him like a mental surgeon, because he has been in many cases able to somehow enter the very room of your addiction, if you will. He has been able to poke your addiction in many cases. So this is where it's getting a little bit difficult for me, because I was watching a video. I was, you probably never seen or heard about this channel at this specific point. My point with this channel has never been fame. I have been trying to reach out for a small group, but like in the no rules, he absolutely no nicotine substitutes. This is where I have chosen a gentle way. I'm not saying the gentle way, because it would sound like I have tried to I'm only providing what helped me and rescued me, honestly. Maybe even to a point where my life I don't think I would have been very old if I did not question things. So I'm gonna have to ask you to be patient and focus and try to see the connections in what I'm trying to provide, because it is a little bit complicated. That's why I had to write it down, because I don't want to take too much of your time. But it's still important that I make myself clear, and it's still important that I get every detail that I feel you should be aware of. And yes, it's a little special feeling to question a man who have saved so many lives. So he gave me a special taste in my mouth, honestly. Now, collect everything I've said in this video, and it's so far 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Like I said, I focus on a gentle and realistic way to stop inhaling those damn cigarettes. And I know it's difficult, but I have been a heavy smoker for 30 years, plus 30 years-ish. And I have read The Easy Way. I do believe it was given to me when I was 20. And that's 24 years ago. I'm 44 years old. And I read, and I do believe I read it several times. So in this, after I made this channel, I came to the understanding. No, I don't really remember exactly how, and I was just watching how, because I know my videos are very slow, and they are meant to be. They are meant to be kept simple, and yeah, it has a purpose, like I've said, but it's not what you see in everyday mainstream. Yeah, but I came over this video with Alan Carr because I wanted to remind myself, or I wanted to understand a little more. I was just surfing, as you call it, and then I came over this video, and I want you to see this video. And I want you to analyze it, because I'm starting to get near my very point. And yeah, I'm not going to add any links or anything. I want you to search for a video. And the video's name is The Nicotine Trap. Alan Carr explains. It lasts about 8 minutes and 13 seconds. So I want you to, if you will, pause this video and watch that video, whatever you want. I want you to analyze it. And I want you to go back. I want you to put that in connection with the way you are supposed and instructed to read the very book that is so famous internationally. This is where I'm starting to feel obligated to say, be aware. Because there was especially one statement that made me stop, like almost in a form of shock. And when he is asked about nicotine substitutes, he, first of all, as very obvious, he is or was or is, because he is still saving lives. That should be clear. However, first of all, he makes it very clear he does not want to call it, okay, I cannot quote directly, but he calls it, it's not nicotine replacement therapy. Is that the, I'm sorry if I'm not remembering all the words. That's for now okay. But nicotine continuation therapy. Okay. Focus, okay. And then he makes a statement that I just could not, and to this moment cannot believe. And this is when he is saying that continuing, let's use for example nicotine chewing gum. As an example. Now, he says that he compares it to going from smoking heroin to injecting heroin. So that made me stop, and that made me think, what happened? What did he say? Remember how you are instructed, how you probably many times have been instructed to read the book. So, is there anything wrong about saying stopping smoking by using nicotine substitutes is like going from smoking heroin to injecting heroin? Is there anything totally wrong in that statement? Think. Now, I don't know what your conclusion is, but it throws a very heavy shadow over harm reduction. To make it very clear, it is completely off to say that. My point is, what is he not saying? What is he avoiding with that statement? I can give you many, many thousand reasons, because he purely focuses on nicotine. He does not mention one word about all the other thousands. I've read somewhere 5,000. I read somewhere 7,000. I do not want to give you any sources. I want you to check this with several sources and prove me wrong. He does not say anything about the thousands of toxins being inhaled alongside nicotine into organs, the lungs, that are meant for breathing oxygen. He purely focus in nicotine. So that's why that statement is off, off, off. And I asked myself, a man with this tremendous godlike status saying something like that, what consequences will that bring? Because in my ears, that statement is highly toxic. Can you make any connections in any of the things I've told you? I will try to explain further. First of all, in my previous videos, maybe in my moments, I do believe I said it was somewhat suspicious somehow that it's so much focus in all or nothing, the easy way, all or nothing, cold turkey. And I read in another thread or group or wherever it was, people having read a book and still did not manage to stop smoking. And if you are one of them, you focus, please. And then I saw this. And what is the advice if you're taking this book? This book is a cure. So if you fail, what do you have to do again? Your advice to read it again, no? In case you missed something. And I do believe his clinics, sounds expensive, have different kinds of money back guarantees, which sounds fantastic if you don't attempt or if you don't manage to stop. And that's all about information I got about that. I don't really need to know much more than that. What I noticed was the answers, the recommendations given to the people who were in this position where they had read a book. And it was almost like robotic. Read the instructions, read the book again. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit dramatic because I could only read. I could not hear any voices. But it was like that, and that's the way. So also the very structure. Okay, everybody knows you are supposed to take everything in that book literally. Literally. If you fail after reading the book, the instructions, or whatever you want to call it, you have missed a point. Now that's the thing, no? So you need to read it again. And how many times exactly if you read it all and you still fail? Well, I read a book and it definitely made me more aware of the dangers of smoking. I could not enjoy smoking as much. But 24 years later, and I don't know how many times I read a book, I still smoked. And 24 years of smoking is scary. It's more than enough to cause extreme danger. So now I'm getting now I'm going to try to make my conclusion. This book is to be read in a very special way. It is written with many repetitions, sometimes irritating many repetitions. You have to take everything literally. You have to read it fundamentalistically. which we, in some cases, when you hear when they read in general, for example, they take everything literally from whatever book or writing. You often think extremist groups and, for example, religious point of view. I don't know. That's often what I'm thinking. If you read the Bible literally, Mamma Mia, the first pages will not make you feel any good. But it also, because I still when you hear about, for example, nicotine chewing gums to stop smoking, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, in reality, you don't hear so much about it because it's very dominated by this cold turkey, all or nothing method. And the easy way is cold turkey. You can call it whatever you want. And the easy way is not so easy for everyone. And that's okay. But if they are not able to stop smoking after reading the book, literally, but they are, is it okay if I use the word brainwashed? I do believe some say it's re-brainwashing. Does it matter? If you are under the impression that you have to read a book again, 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 I don't know how many times is the limit, and you cannot stop smoking still, but still you are brainwashed. Where does that put the people who still cannot stop smoking if they have the fundamentalistic approach, cannot stop smoking, but they are brainwashed still, and harm reduction or nicotine substitutes are a big no-no, or maybe, as I hear in many cases, they don't work, or if taken literally as well, they are the same as smoking, so why not just smoke? Do you understand? What's interesting to me is, for example, nicotine chewing gums or patches, or they don't seem to be as visible like an option. And think there may be a connection between harm reduction, as I don't call it. I want you to do your own research. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say they say that. They say that. I want you to do everything in your power to prove me wrong, or prove the theory wrong. Tell me, not necessarily me. I don't find one logical statement that stopping smoking heavily by using nicotine chewing gums is not only improving your health, it is such a tremendous step towards health, almost to the level of a non-smoker. Understand? So it is not even possible to, your body will be so grateful the very moment you go from stopping tobacco, inhaling it into your lungs by using nicotine chewing gum. So why focus so much on nicotine? You're saving your body and you're having some relief. And I see there is so much mixed up what is the psychological addiction and the physical addiction. And as I do believe I stated in my first video, shit the same. Everything is psychological. But who will keep the physical? You will be functional. And I can only say that because I made it after 30 years. And I was not like a careful, soft smoker. I'm Norwegian. And even in Norway, I smoked the strongest rolling tobacco. Types of tobacco, blå strek, meaning like blue line. Smokers had maybe not even heard about. It's not the strongest, but it's very strong. And I remember one smoker saying to me, "Man, that tobacco is like so visible. It's like one of the first tobaccos ever made." It's if I did not have blå strek, as well as not the same as Petters, as I will usually smoke red mix, and I was a big smoker, heavy smoker. And I'm telling you, if you think like the statement that if you start using nicotine chewing gums, to stop smoking, if you think that's almost the same, I don't know how to prove you or what coffee you need. And honestly, I don't know why he would make such a extremely toxic statement if I'm wrong. But if this book is so famous, and it's all or nothing, then I understand that the very same people coming to me and saying, I have like two different types of people who have stopped smoking successfully with the easy way or the same mentality. They say, and I haven't been joking much about it, it's getting dry, but I have heard on many occasions, hey, if you're using nicotine chewing gums, you can't call yourself a ex-smoker. And I was always joke, yes, I can, because I don't smoke nicotine chewing gums, and I never have. But it's like this obsession. Hey, you're not allowed to call yourself uh, you're still an addict. You're not liberated. And the first, you're not allowed to call yourself, you're not a non-smoker if you use those nicotine chewing gums. Yes, I am. I've stopped smoking. And when I see that in connection with everything I've told you about the last 50 minutes almost, it's so, it's a stupid thing to say, but it's so stupid. And okay, then I hear you saying I'm still smoking because I use nicotine chewing gum. How stupid does that sound to you? Have you seen people smoke chewing gums? And you're still an addict. So what is the case in on our console? Is it what we can call ourselves, or but if you see in like a fundamentalistic manner, it makes more sense because it's so programmed. You understand? And I felt obligated. This was never my it wasn't in my script. But when I hear stuff like that, yeah, you're giving yourself nicotine in a pure form. Please Google, compare how dangerous is uh, smoking heavily compared to chewing nicotine chewing gums. Ask everywhere with knowledge so that you as well have a big, like thousands of sources. Okay, to be more specific, if you will, to make my point clear. I challenge you to find the best neutral specialist to prove me wrong. And I found it very necessary to make this video, not based on intuitions, not based on yes, based on reflections, but believe me, I don't have any nicotine chewing gum companies behind my back. There are probably different types of. The thing is, I use nicotine chewing gums as an example because that's what saved me. I don't think my father, when he was only 56, he had already experienced 2 heart attacks. And he was from like a mountain village in Norway, where they in the past were very used to hard physical labor in nature, with nature, freezing temperatures, and their diet was not what you would recommend a office worker, but he was also a big smoker. And when he was 56 years old, it was along with time, the machines took over and the diet continued. But smoking was definitely also a tremendous factor. And he was actually just supposed to fix some clogged arteries. And I was in a hospital. It was supposed to be a relatively quick fix, but he was sent home, and I not directly to the place where they were specialists in just that. And during those days home, I don't understand why they sent him home. I'm not gonna. He was in the supermarket, and he on his way home. The doctor said it was like turning the light off. He passed away before he hit the ground. His heart stopped. I haven't, and of course he ate many factors, but yeah. If he, as I know a lot of examples, and it's That's why I feel like obligated now to make this channel. Um, my first statement was, well, no, my first statement in this video was cold turkey can lead to death. And I mean that because if cold turkey, which is stopping something without any, definitely don't watch my channel type of mentality, and not even an option, you see a big black hole somewhere, and to the group of people, okay, what will happen? Because it's not realistic. It's not very likely that people will forever try to read that book again and again and again and again. And if so, they are allowed to smoke while reading it. I guess allowed to smoke while reading the book is more or less the same as I am allowing for example, nicotine chewing gums. As you get your focus off those damn cigarettes and stop inhaling thousands of chemicals to keep your head somewhat focused. So if you try and fail and try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, just remember that, first of all, I was exactly like you. You do not have anything to be ashamed of. You are probably in the group of the heaviest smokers. And the problem is, at one point, you are likely, which is understandable, to give it all up. The whole stop smoking shit. And if it's all or nothing, you keep failing, and harm reduction is no option because you are, to a certain degree, brainwashed. You're giving up, accepting your fate as a smoker. To become a non-smoker is something of the past, maybe already decades ago. You want to, but it's so far away. And you probably never will try again. Then cold turkey will probably, as if you smoke all your life, it's not wrong of me to say cold turkey will lead to death, not harm reduction. So focus on everything, and please watch the videos I recommended question everything. I'm sorry about the 1 hour thing. It seems to be not possible for me to avoid. Yeah, I hope you listen, because I'm sincerely telling you, if it worked for me, it worked for you. My somewhat clumsy videos so far contains what to be aware of, but it's only to make you reflect. And this channel is made for you. So focus on what is not being said in the video. 90% in the video was talking about 90% success rate. So that means that both you and I are in the 10%. And I do believe it's something like 50% after 1 year. But that was very fast, and maybe there's so many things stated in that video that I just want to provide to you to reflect. Okay, I think I made my point. And believe me, it's absolutely doable. It's not even hard. I have nothing to gain. I will be very happy if you manage it the way I did. But it's not like I'm telling you to watch this channel over and over and over again if you don't find my help helpful. I'm trying. I'm trying to give you how I made it. Nothing more. Thank you. And good luck. It's easy.